What a slugfest, as Tom Brady himself said, between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. This game had a lot of offensive firepower, that's for sure. I mean, this offense was humming. The Detroit Lions defense is struggling. Um, but even when they were there to make some nice plays, the Rams were able to make even better ones. Puka, Nua, Parkinson, Devontae, I mean, everybody was making huge hoes. The receivers were either wide open or making insane catches, like literally insane catches, and could not be stopped in the run game. 29 carries for 159 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford, 24 for 38, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 interception, almost a pick six. Hutch was trying his best to make it down there in a 101.6 passer rating. Goff played really well. I mean, Goff did everything he could. 25 for 41, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 111.6 pass rating. Just doesn't have the defense. Doesn't have the defense, and then they weren't really running the ball, and so they weren't, you know, controlling the clock at all. So they're just giving the ball back to the Rams, and the defense for the Lions is just simply not good enough. But I'm on Amon-Ra St. Brown balling. Jameson Williams is balling. This was definitely, let's just mainly those 3 guys, right? It was Goff, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and again, even Tom Brady in the beginning and probably at the middle of the game, he's just like, it's pretty much just, Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, they got to try to get other guys going. And he goes, or do they? It's working. And if their defense was able to be a little bit more disruptive, Stafford almost had another interception or 2 that hit the Lions players in the hands. And you got to make that play. If you don't make that play, you're not going to win the game. Your defense isn't good enough in this moment of time where if Stafford or anyone on the Rams team is going to give you any type of opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. But they were 2 for 9 on third down, the Rams, but then 3 for 3 on third down, which was obviously crushing. But I mean, the Rams got to the red zone 6 times. 6 times. 4 for 6. Committed essentially no penalties, 2 penalties for 8 yards. If it wasn't for Stafford's turnover, you'd say it was a flawless game. It was a perfect game. Ran the ball well. Obviously, the passing game was good. Only 2 penalties. Controlled the game, controlled the clock. 36-35 to 26-25 in terms of time of possession. And, it's really leading us to a pretty big battle against the Rams and the Seahawks. And the Rams almost got a big gift with Phillip Rivers leading the Colts almost to victory with a 60-yard field goal. I mean, man, that almost ended up being huge. Now, we still got these 2 teams tied up, but with the tiebreaker going to the Rams currently. So we'll see what happens. Pretty wild. And so this is where it gets interesting. Now, head-to-head, best won-loss tied percentage in games between clubs, obviously. So if the Rams lose that game, no 0 predictions about that. But then they still end up being tied. Obviously, at that point, they wouldn't be tied. But then, let's just say the Rams lose a game, or, the Seahawks lose a game, and then the Rams win out. Then it drops down to best won-loss tied percentage in games played within the division. Then common games. And so you then come down to the division. Rams are 3-1. The Seahawks are 3-2. But the Rams are 3-1. But the Seahawks are 2-2. But then after that game, it would be 3-2. 3-2. So it's like, okay, interesting. But the Rams have the Cardinals and the Seahawks have the 49ers. So it's like, okay, then where do we go? Let's say they both win or they both lose, just to keep it a tie. It's like now we got to go through, mutual games. The common games, you would obviously be equal in terms of the division, okay? And then you gotta look at who y'all both played. But it gets crazier because the Seahawks lost to the Bucks and the Rams beat the Bucks. But the Rams lost to the Panthers. And if now the Seahawks beat the Panthers, you're like, All right, both beat the Texans, both took care of the Colts. Like it gets weird. It gets weird. You kind of have to keep fighting through it to figure it out. It probably quick math balances out because the one loss for the 49 for the Seahawks is to a divisional team. But then that divisional team, that would now balance out. And then losing to the Panthers versus winning against the Panthers and losing the Bucks versus winning at the Bucks. I don't know. And then best one-loss tied percentage in games within the conference. Within the conference, and then that's where Seattle 6-3 in the conference, and Los Angeles Rams are 6-3 in the conference. But if Seattle beats the Rams, they would now go up in the conference, and the Rams would lose one in the conference. So that seemingly, if you know, I'd have to go through each team to see if that might be where the tiebreaker then ends up being in terms of the conference record. So yeah, pretty ridiculous. But if that then ends up still being a tie, strength of victory in all games, strength of schedule and all, strength of victory, I think Seattle would have you beat, because of so many of the big wins that Seattle has. But again, so the Rams have a bunch of them too. So are we going to start getting down to like 7, 8, 9, 10? You know, are we going to like, is it going to be a coin toss? Like what's about to happen here? So pretty wild stuff. Very wild stuff, but big important game for the Rams. Taking down the Lions. Tough break for the Lions. More players even got injured on defense for them. But yeah, man, we're up for a big battle against Seattle, but you got to be feeling great if you're the Rams right now, because you're looking over and seeing how Seattle played against the Colts and you're like, "Oh, we got this. This team's cooling down. We're getting hot." But and you're like, "Yeah, we gave up a bunch to the Lions, but they're a high-powered offense. You know, they got a lot going for them offensively." But yeah, so it's all going to come down Seattle, Los Angeles. If Seattle wins that game, then those next couple of games are just like end up being, in a lot of ways, it ends up being crazier what happens in those follow-up games more so than the actual head-to-head at that point. So wild. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Los Angeles Rams? Matthew Stafford taking down Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you. Thank you. Next time.